Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope everyone's doing well. So if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It all helps my algorithm so other people can see it. I just got renewed to have a brand new YouTube agent for the next 6 months. So I will be working with a gentleman this time from YouTube, and they're going to be helping me grow my channel. So I'm really excited. Members, make sure you check out the community tab because we have so much going on. Last night, I channeled the Ra Collective for everyone, and the Ra answered lots of members' questions for them. And we did these fun Halloween readings. And so the 3-card pull today is going to be the Halloween Oracle. One of my favorite decks because this is actually, not just is it fun, but it's actually accurate. So I really do like this deck. I should probably use it more often. And because so many of you ask, Annie is doing well. You know, she takes her medicine every day, and some days are better with that than others. But I find that if she's sitting in her favorite rocker, it is so much easier. So as always, we have so much to cover. As I'm sure you know, Liz Truss, the Prime Minister in England, has resigned. And interestingly enough, this leaves a door open for Boris Johnson. How crazy is that? He could be making a comeback possibly. However, there are other contenders. Okay, so I thought I'd just pull a card for Liz Truss, see what's going on with her at this moment. You know, she's on her way out. She's getting out of Dodge, so to speak. She's had it. It is kind of funny how the Brits were saying who's going to last longer, this head of lettuce or Liz Truss, and the head of lettuce won. I saw that they put like an image of it on Parliament. It's good to see that they have a sense of humor. She's looking for new opportunities. You know, she didn't have much to offer, I think. That's what I'm getting from this card. So now she's out looking for new opportunities because she felt like she couldn't live up to the task that was handed to her. Okay. Let's take a look at Boris. Let us see. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm glad so many of you enjoyed my pumpkin pictures. If you haven't seen them, and I made just a short 20-second video of the pumpkins that Michael and I carved. I did the witch, he did the haunted house, and we put fun lights inside. And take a look if you haven't already. And just thank you for all the nice comments. And I also wanted to offer a free reading to all of you. This will probably, I don't have many spots open. Hopefully I can do it in December, but December and January is going very fast. February is going. So if you do want to book a reading and you want that New Year's reading, go to dianeaquarius.com because they are going fast. Just make sure you understand all of my policies about refunds and reschedulings and all that good stuff because I spell everything out. But so if you do want a free reading with me, in the next month or two, hopefully I will find a time. It will be on a Wednesday. Okay. It will be on a Wednesday evening, my time. All right. Just put in the video here underneath something like free reading. Okay. And I will randomly pick. Like I always do. I'll just draw a number and go that way. I figured I haven't done that in a while. And I know so many of you enjoy getting a reading, and I love giving readings. Okay, so Boris, what's going on with you? He's feeling pretty good about himself right now. He's feeling pretty balanced and like, like I could do this. Pretty reassured of himself at this moment. The obstacle, though, is, interestingly enough, some sort of legal issues. There's something that's still plaguing him. So all is not really well in his world. I wonder if he's a little bit disillusioned, if you will. Oh, but he's in for a ruthless battle. Okay, here he is, 5 of Swords, looking back, asking, was it worth it? And so, you know, abuse of power, that sort of thing. And we know that he did that during the pandemic, right? Throwing those huge parties and then not being honest about it. So I don't think it looks very good for him, even though I would say he's actually feeling pretty good. But I don't really think he should be. Okay. So as you know, Steve Bannon went back to court to be sentenced. He was. And he was held in criminal contempt of Congress. If you may remember, on January 5th, he was saying all hell is going to break loose tomorrow, right? So he knew what was going on. He knew what was happening. I think his bigger issue, because he really just got a slap on the wrist. I'm glad he got something. I am. I'm glad there was some repercussions, but not enough, in my opinion. But I feel like it's coming, and like he's going to New York, and that's going to be criminal, and that's going to be a lot heavier. Okay. For all of you that are watching this live right now, this is a premiere, so it is pre-taped. I actually just finished doing a live with Milu. If you want to check that out, I was on Milu's channel Friday at noon. But this is pre-taped, and I'm live in the comments, okay? So you can chit-chat with me in the comments and let me know what you think. Michael and I today are going to a really fun thing down on Cape Cod, where we're going into a historic house, and it's from the 1700s, and they're telling ghost stories in all the rooms and making it very spooky and just fun. So that's where we will be this evening as you're watching this. But I am live in the comments. You can talk to me. So to get back to Steve Bannon, yeah, I don't see anything good for him. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in that, that world, his world, right? So he's in for a whole new phase and cycle of his life. Things are changing for him. Now, this card, the world card, is oftentimes positive, right? But you have to look at what it's surrounded by, because that's what makes the difference. His obstacle, interestingly enough, this is my card for either Biden, the Biden administration. He's also probably feeling rather emotional. So even though I think Steve Bannon is extremely arrogant and disillusioned, there's going to be a moment where he gets a really hard wake-up call, where he gets more than a slap on the wrist. And it's going to hit him like a ton of bricks, because I think in his mind, he really feels that he is invincible. He's Superman, right? But look, he gets betrayed. He gets stabbed in the back. Things are not going to go the way that he hopes. And once again, it goes back to being disillusioned, not being grounded, not being realistic. He thinks that he's untouchable. And so this is really going to hit him hard, what he has coming. Oh, it actually flew out of my hands. The Devil card. The Devil card's a card of loss, right? It's a card of sinfulness and greed. And also, quite literally, being chained down. And that's what I see for him. In a very literal sense. I do actually see him serving time for real, not just a few months. So, but we also know that the wheels of justice turn slowly. So give it some time. Okay. But it's coming. It's coming sooner than later. I wanted to look at something that maybe some of you are familiar with, but I am not. And when I saw this article this morning, it just really hit me. It's about this Texas gun crisis situation with the schools. Maybe if you're in Texas, you already know what I'm talking about. To me, this is just stunning. So the Texas schools sent parents DNA kits to identify their children's bodies in case of emergencies. Well, we know what those emergencies are, don't we? It was a law that was passed in 2021. And I figured, what, if I had no awareness of this, maybe a lot of you don't either. But I find this so incredibly disturbing. I don't see how a parent could feel good about sending their child to school. And so I thought we would take a look at this gun crisis in Texas, because something has to change. You need to live someplace where you can send your child to school. We'll have the sort of childhood I had. We didn't worry about this when I went to school here in the US. It was fine. But, Sandy Hook wasn't really too far from me. I mean, it's just awful. But I'm going to look at Texas specifically. Okay. I know I could look at every state, the country as the whole. I'm going to just, because I feel guided for some reason to hone in on Texas. And I think it just really hit me like a ton of bricks. I could not imagine being that parent receiving a DNA kit. I could not. Okay. So things are going to be rapidly changing. So this actually could be quite good. This could be quite good. All right. So lots of newness around this. Okay. So I'm asking Spirit, okay, what else do we need to know about this? Oh, my guides are saying this is also how the parents feel. Like they're just getting like hit with this. Like, you know, I mean, there's 8 of these wands, right? And like they're getting hit like again and again. Like it's just becoming overbearing to the parents. The obstacle, the magician. You know, one of my favorite cards, unless he's reversed, or the obstacle. Somebody asked like why I don't do reverses. I don't like doing reverses because you have to manually go in and reverse them. Or you can do 78 pickup, right? Toss them on the floor and and mix them up. I don't like it. But my second card, I always read as if it were reversed. The obstacle, the challenge, whatever. I do a modified Celtic cross is what I'm doing. So when he's at his best, the magician's wonderful because he can manifest all sorts of things. But when he's not at his best, when he is the obstacle, when he is reversed, it's an abuse of power. So it's those people that are in charge, that have control, that could change things, abusing their power and their positions. This is the parents. No doubt about it. This is the parents. They are feeling burdened and oppressed. They feel like they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. Who's surprised? You know, this is the card of financial abundance, affluence, being wealthy in one's own garden, right? So a lot of money is being fed into this. That's why it's happening. Let's face it. There's a lot more truths that are going to be coming out. There's things that we don't know yet. And so I have a feeling it has to do with the money connection. Okay. Something about this is going to court. Okay. This gives me a lot of hope because the Queen of Swords, she's fair, balanced, she's ethical, she's moral, she's everything you want a person to be in a lot of ways. You know, someone who's well-spoken, well-written. And so she's also very judicial. And so this is going back to court. So I would say if you're one of these parents, don't give up yet. There's more to come. It's going to get better. But like so often, things get worse before they get better. So I'm just so sorry that you're going through this. But I think that there's a lot of money financing all of this, you know, and I think all of you know, put in the comments, let me know what you think. If you are from Texas, oh my gosh, please say something, put something in the comments, let me know. I just can't even imagine. So moving on to Lindsey Graham. I don't know if you heard, but he has been court ordered to testify in Georgia in front of a grand jury. Now, Pat Cipollone already has. So they're coming in, right? This is Fani Willis, right? So she's bringing everybody in, making everybody testify. And it has to do with the 2020 election interference. I do not see anything good coming for Lindsey Graham. I do not. So I think he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Much like when I read on Bannon, I wouldn't be surprised if it shows that he's disillusioned. Like if he's thinking, I'm invincible, I'm untouchable. I think a lot of these people are going to have very harsh wake-up calls in the next year. Within the next year, I think their whole worlds are going to be flipped upside down. And so many of them thought 45 was going to be their savior. Why? I don't know, because look at his track record. You know, even if you're not a chess player, can't you see patterns, right? I mean, it's just ridiculous. But so here he is prospecting. He's trying to figure out a strategy. You know, I just feel like so many of these folks are like wheeling and dealing and doing whatever they can. to crawl out of that hole that they got themselves into, but it's not going to work, my friends. His obstacle, he's miserable. Once again, this is a great card unless it's reversed or your obstacle. He's miserable. There is no balance. There is no harmony. There is no peace in his life. He's disillusioned, right? This is one of the cards of disillusionment. You do not see clearly in the moonlight, do you? And also, too, you can hide things in the dark. And so I think he's trying to hide things. Like, that's why I was getting like that wheeling dealing type vibe. Like, he's trying to do whatever he can. He's going to try to get away to smoother waters. But when I look at the next card, it's not going to happen. Here's the death card. And I don't think it's literal. It's, death to his way of life. So what he once counted on and relied on, it's gone. His world is flipped upside down within a year. He's going to be unrecognizable. So Vlad drafted against their will 260,000 people in Russia. His goal is to get 300,000. He's running out of men. He's running out of equipment, artillery. But more importantly for him, he's running out of people's enthusiasm. These people don't want to do this. They do not want to be there. They're like us. I mean, the way I look at the Russians is they're like us. They want to sit there on their iPhones, watching Netflix, doing DoorDash. They're no different. They don't want to give up their way of life to fight a madman's war. And so I just wanted to see what's going to happen with these men that he has conscripted, because I don't think it's going to work out. It didn't work out when he sent over the first batch. So why is he doing this again? It doesn't make sense. Like I said before, Vlad was somebody who was very calculating, good with strategies, and something has very much changed. Very much. Okay. Okay, so it leaves him at a standstill. Something's going to happen with these conscripted men. Okay, something's going to happen where there is no like real advancement for the Russian army. They're not going to move forward the way Vlad was thinking. And I think that's kind of what I was getting, like this stagnation, procrastination, like I'm seeing like a desert where like nothing changes, nothing happens. That's what I'm getting from him doing this. Look at his obstacle. His obstacle is he's in for a turning point. Like, once again, this card can be wonderful unless it's your obstacle, right? We all like a nice new turning point in our lives. And yet, no, this is a turning point where he comes into his karmic destiny and fate, meaning he is in a lot of trouble. This is not going to work out for him. Okay, I'm a little surprised at this card. Hang on, let me just ask Spirit. I didn't expect to get King of Cups. Let me see. Let me ask Spirit. My guides are saying that Vlad is actually listening to everything Biden says. He's listening. And there's something that Biden's going to be saying that really catches his attention. It's going to make him sit up and pay attention. Interesting, because I wasn't expecting anything to do with like the US. So it caught me by surprise, but this is why I like doing tarot too. Go out one more. Judgment. This is really going to come back to bite him. He made a poor judgment call. He made a poor judgment call, didn't he? I think he doesn't understand the nature of his people, the nature of 2022. He's not getting it. He's living from decades ago. This isn't World War II. I wanted to finish up with all these videos from commercial airline pilots seeing and videotaping unidentified aerial phenomena, what we used to call UFOs, all across the USA. And so I'm just going to add my little 2 cents to this. Yeah, I think it's real. I do. I think it's going to really ramp up. I think there's nothing our government's going to be able to do to cover it up. You're going to hear more and more and more about it. But the one thing that I think our government knows that they're not actually telling us, because I have gotten this from the raw channelings, is that a lot of these extraterrestrials are not coming from the sky, but from our oceans. And they have the technology to be able to pull themselves up out of the water and go into the skies. So don't be surprised if we start to see a lot of that they start to actually capture some of that. So keep your eyes open, okay? Because we are getting closer to disclosure as the veil is thinning, as we're getting closer to fourth density. So we're in a very exciting time. So, keep your eyes peeled. Keep looking up. And if you're in the water or near the water, it has to be the ocean. I never really got much with like lakes and ponds and that sort of thing, but the ocean. And I think it's because we haven't explored most of the ocean, have we? The oceans. They're incredibly deep and complicated, complex, interesting, fascinating. And we really haven't gone all the way down and seen what's there. And there could be a very good reason for that. And I suspect we will be finding that out soon. So here's a 3-card pull from the Halloween Oracle. Take a nice deep breath and just ask your higher self, your spirit guides, what do I need to know right now? What do I need to know right now? What would help me the most to know at this moment? And then go with your gut. Are you drawn to card 1, 2, or 3? Okay, here we go. Card 1, Apple, risk and reward. I always tell people it's good to take risks, feel the fear, but do it anyways. But make sure that they're calculated risks, right? Like don't quit your job to follow your heart. Be careful with that, right? I've seen people really make some poor decisions, but definitely, start that hobby that you've always been wanting that you can grow into a full-time business. Because I think when we take a risk, we show the universe that we have trust and faith, and then we get rewarded. So take a little, risk every now and again, because if nothing else, I think it really opens up our sacral chakra. It makes us engaged with life. It gives us a renewed love for life. Number 2, trick or treat, which is mischief and play. So this is your guides, your higher self, saying, honor your inner child. Make sure that you're not just all work and no play. Find that work-life balance. Have fun. Do things for pleasure. Do things simply because you enjoy them. They don't have to have a higher meaning. You just enjoy them. And then 3 is the witch. And it says, the earthly weaver of the worlds. So this is a time for you to work your magic. Get into the flow of life, and then you'll start experiencing synchronicities. This is a good time for you to use the law of attraction, right? What you put out is what you get back. So lots of, synergy here. And I think you'll start to notice that once you're in the flow of life, you experience synchronicities also. So this is sort of like a magical time for you. You have some extra energies that you can use to your advantage to help you manifest those things that you desire. So, all right, everybody, it was a pleasure making this video. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you all again in a few days. Bye, everyone.